What's up guys, welcome back to a new episode of Twins Television. As you can see, I'm standing next to the freshly powder coated parts of the Ferrari. With these, we're going to make our engine bay look as good as new again. That's why we're here at Vivaldi, our regular powder coater. They don't just powder coat rims, but actually pretty much anything made of aluminum, metal, or iron. They can powder coat everything here and also do computer numerical control turning. So you're definitely at the right place. Nothing but praise for this company because they deliver real craftsmanship. Check this out, it looks incredibly good as new, even better than new. There you have it, thank you. This isn't a scene, he's literally just arriving right now. P-dominant employee at least, your employee. That's the main point. Credits to the employees as a small note. You may have noticed in the footage it rang at first, so it had some pigment. That's the structure. Thank you, Victor. Personally, I think the smooth effect looks better since it gives a more modern look. It's nice for us to know what you think about it. I think it looks really super sleek. And now of course we're going to put our new gasket in here, put the distribution on, start the car. It's going to be really awesome. Yes, welcome back to our workshop. We have our freshly powder coated parts back and they look incredibly good. We've put them together for a quick look. This way the intake is complete. Of course there will be new gaskets in between. It's going to be completely fresh and clean. Just check out our engine bay. It's just a web just of hoses, cables, wiring. It's unbelievable. We'll start with this since it's fresh in our minds. We'll figure it out. If you can build a hot fire resistant agricultural machine, you can handle this too. Let's just go for it. I removed the old gasket residue from the engine block. Amazing what 20 years can do. Those gaskets were about that old. And a bit of oil, because as you might remember, we put quite a lot of oil in our intake. And that also caused those gaskets to become completely soft and basically get eaten away. Yeah, check this out. This is really old and this is new. So we also degreased everything, cleaned it, and took a look inside the engine with an endoscope to see if anything might have fallen in. At a few spots, we still found some pieces of gasket, so we vacuumed those out as well. So now we know for sure that it's completely clean there. It's time to start putting things back together. I'm really happy, because soon we'll have an engine bay that looks amazing. Even when we look through here later, you'll just see a nice looking intake. Just wow, mind-blowing guys, we actually have a Ferrari. I'm still amazed. Before we put the intake back on, we decided to clean everything up nicely. As you can see, it made a huge difference. Defelled and taped everything off neatly, so no powder coat would get on the inside of the intake. We're redoing all the threads, which means we're running a tap through them, so that all the bolts can go back into the intake smoothly. And that was really necessary, since those threads were pretty worn out. Here I'm reinstalling the throttle plate into the intake, so we connect these left and right at a certain revolutions per minute for maximum flow. Almost forgot the temperature sensor. We swapped that out as well, and there goes our intake, guys. Clean, and with new gaskets underneath, it's being put back in place. We're also putting the red covers back on for a moment, taped off with paper tape so we don't damage anything. It would be a real shame if they went back to 4 fields again, so better safe than sorry. Yes guys, welcome back. It's a new day here and I'm really excited because I just finished putting the engine bay back together. New gaskets, new powder coating. It was actually a lot of work to restore it to how it was, but it looks absolutely phenomenal. The powder coating work from Belden really makes the difference. Check out the beauty shots. The car was assembled here. The next thing we're going to do now is, of course, continue with our timing belt, which we're going to replace. It's pretty worn out, outdated, dried out, rusted. Basically everything you can think of, that's what our timing belt is like. So we're going to lift the car up now. Because I need to make a special tool myself, a piece of equipment to lock the flywheel. So I'm going to show you how I do that. I'm curious to see if it's going to work. I think it will. It's going to be an exciting little project again, because yeah, I need to make something out of metal to lock the flywheel. So of course I'll take you along with me for that. Let's go, music! Music! I was almost starting to worry, but of course it makes sense that the coolant hose is lying on the ground. The music was replaced just like that, and a little bit of coolant even leaked out. But as I just mentioned, I need to make a music key for our flywheel. I need to disassemble this drawer, loosen 4 Allen screws, and then I'll basically get to the clutch and flywheel section. Then I need to come up with something to block the flywheel. It should end up looking something like this picture, but with something sticking out that I can use to block the flywheel. I don't think it's gonna be a really tough job, but you never know, so yeah, let's keep going. I'm excited, because without this, we can't block our crankshaft nut, because our crankshaft will be able to turn when we try to loosen it. And that's why it needs to be blocked there to be able to remove this pulley, with that really big 36 bolt, so we need to block it. Let's go. Alright guys, I found a really nice piece of metal sheet which I'm going to use to make my special tool. I'll show you how it works. So this is what I took off the car. I'm going to check it. Then I'll drill 2 holes in my piece of metal sheet. Look how nice and thick this piece is, where I'm basically going to put 2 bolts in that will block the flywheel from turning. This bolt that's fastened here will soon be tightened and loosened with 200 Newton meters. So that's quite a lot of force involved. It really has to be a pretty solid piece of steel. Let's make something real quick, and I'm curious to see if we can get it loose. After a lot of careful measuring, I finally managed to make the special tool. This is what it looks like. Actually, it's nothing too crazy as long as it works, right? Look, if all goes well, it fits right here between the ends without any play. Be precise like this. Like this. I've also adjusted the bolts just right so it actually fits perfectly in terms of height the way it falls in. Well, I'd say let's fasten it and see if we can loosen our handle as a nut, or loosen the handle as a bolt, I should say. Because it's tight with 196 Newton meters, and that's quite a lot. But you can imagine that a car wheel is tightened with 115, 120, 140 if it's a Jeep. But make sure that it is, yeah, that's even much more than actually tightening a car wheel. And those can already be pretty tight. So yeah, something like this really has to be solid. And hopefully my bolts don't bend, because then you'll still have trouble if the bolt doesn't come loose. We'll see. We're going to install this and see if we can get the crankshaft bolt loose. Let's go. Yeah, it's good. Yay! Well guys, the moment of truth. Is the pulley going to come off? Well, the bolt at least is coming out. We've got that. This is it. The jets are... Ah, that pulley. For some people, it's still stuck really tight. I'm curious if it's stuck for me. Because yeah, for some people this thing is really stuck. Ah, it's just coming off. Yes, I've got it. Yes, guys, it worked. It's off. Woohoo, it's off. The locking key helped, guys. With this positivity, I want to end this episode. We worked really hard to make this episode happen. Because as you know, rebuilding the intake takes about 4 to 5 hours, and that's just insanely much. You might have seen about 30 seconds of that, and yeah, that actually takes quite a lot of time. We said that we would disassemble the timing system in this episode, but unfortunately we won't be doing that in this episode. Since there's actually quite a lot of work, and you don't want to leave a job like that for a few days, you want to keep it fresh in your memory. And that's why we've decided to end the episode here. Hopefully we can start in the next episode as well. The car, because the intake is installed, the injectors have been checked, the new gaskets are in place. So guys, we're so hyped, and we'll find out soon. Whether this was the reason the car was running badly. Stay tuned, don't forget to subscribe, give us a like, and let us know in the comments what you think of this episode and what could be improved. Absolutely, that's our biggest support. See you soon, ciao.